So, I don't have my computer in front of me, Muse. I have a guitar pick in my hand. Why do I have a guitar pick in my hand? I'm not a guitarist. I make noise with a guitar. I make a lot of noise with a guitar. And I would demonstrate it, but I don't think you or anybody else wants to hear me making noise with a guitar. But I do have a point. I'm all about following a path less trod. Finding new and improved and different, varied, sundry ways of not necessarily just expressing my art, but finding my art. And every so often when I need it, I pick up my guitar and I play, because I find that it tricks my brain into thinking, to sort of following a different path of synapses, and it after I'm done with it, I feel like my artistic expression is heightened and bettered for it. And the other day when I picked up my guitar, I thought, you know what, let's really play a number on my mind. And I tuned my guitar to open B tuning. Never played it before in my life. And so I did that, and I played for a while. You know, my fingers were like, oh, what's this? I don't know. And you could just feel the brain going, huh? What's going on here? This is new. This is different. Let's see what happens. And, you know, I think I benefited from it. You know as well as I do, I'm just not the type of person to follow in the footsteps of other people. And, you know, it happens all the time. One writer blazes this new trail and finds some semblance of success, and then not every writer, but so many writers say, oh my gosh, let's go down this path because they had success and maybe I'll have some success as well. And they follow that path, and then that path gets overrun by followers, and it no longer leads to success. And it happens all the time. I mean, think about after the Twilight series was released, after the movie was released, how many people decided to write about young adult vampires. And, you know, and I get it. We live in a world that doesn't value art as well as it should. And there are fewer and fewer readers with every passing year. And that's fine. It's everything cyclical. It'll come back. Writing is just not chic writing. Writing is very chic right now. Reading is not very chic right now. And there's more writers. I think there are more writers than there are readers. But like I said, it'll come back. But while we're facing this certain dilemma, not certain doom, it's not first world problems, right? While we're facing this doom, we have to, as artists, we have to separate ourselves from one another. And so we grab our guitars, we tune them in open B tuning, and we force our artistic soul down a different path, hoping that this relationship between us and our muse will find a new level, a new connection. You know, it's like when Tim Burton decided to do Nightmare Before Christmas, and he found that most of the animators couldn't find his style. So he said, okay, everybody, let's all draw with our left hands, or not our left, but our opposite hands. You know, and I can't write with my opposite brain. Can't, you know, because I use both hands when I write. So I've got to find new ways to discover untapped artistry in my mind. And, you know, I use music a lot. Put on a song and focus on the bass line. Get your mind to kind of rewire itself temporarily. Writers have used drugs and alcohol, and but that's not my thing. So I have to seek out new paths, new ways. And hopefully when I find those new paths, they don't hinder my voice. Does that make sense? I mean, here I am talking about desperate need to find a new expression, a new means to allow my artistry to come forth, and at the same time I'm going, oh, but no, you cannot alter my voice, my writer's voice. I mean, that's going to prevail no matter what, I suppose. But it's really easy. It's really easy to get lost in the quagmire of this whole thing. But instead of bemoaning what's happening to you and around you as an artist, you accept the idea that the best route to survival is evolution. And it's tough. It's especially tough when to take that to heart, to decide that you've got to evolve somehow while you're writing a book in a series that's been going on for a long time. And you can't well, you can, but it's not wise to take that series and kind of spin it until it's no longer that series. You've got to stay true to what you've created, what you've built. But at the same time, you cannot get stale. And so I'm just going to keep doing. I'm just going to keep finding new ways to trick my brain, to not necessarily trick it, but not rewire it, but to open it up. Yeah, that's what it is. It's like I'm trying to take my hand and my fingers and jam it through my skull and shove it into my brain and mix it up just enough to go, okay, we're going to try something different now. We're going to go down a different path. We're going to evolve. Because if you're not evolving as an artist, if you're not constantly evolving as an artist and growing, you're failing. And every once in a while you come up against this brick wall that refuses to give quarter, and you bash your head against it, and you punch it with your fist, and you kick it, and you run up against it and slam your shoulder against it, and it just doesn't give. And you got to keep trying. New ways to get beyond this wall, digging tunnels, making a catapult, a big-ass slingshot to throw you over the wall. Whatever you have to do, you got to make it. And it's hard because that wall is built by so many different things. Not all at once. Sometimes it's built by other people. Sometimes it's built by a lack of sales. Sometimes it's built by a lack of inspiration. Sometimes it's built by your own devices. Sometimes it's built by emotional forces. But you've always got to be bashing and climbing and digging and running around that wall. Even if it means retuning your guitar in open B and trying to figure out new ways to play this guitar so that your brain goes, oh my gosh, we're thinking in a different way. Now let's sit down and write. Ooh, it translates. It does. And all the while all of this is happening, got to keep this relationship together. Me and you, Muse. So don't take offense to it. I'm not playing my newly tuned guitar because you're not inspiring me. I'm playing it so that I can take the things that you give to me, the inspiration that you bless me with, and express it in new and different ways. No one ever said being an artist is easy. In fact, it's quite challenging on numerous levels. But it's a beautiful challenge. And if you meet it every day, exceed it, life can be extraordinary. And now, I'm going to go back to my guitar and make a bunch more noise. And be glad that I live in a house and not an apartment. Because that would make people unhappy. Thank you, Muse. Thank you. Thank you for always being there for me and understanding my special flavor of madness. I couldn't do this without you. Let's go make some noise.